This is Tim Osberg from Travel Track on Sirk TV. I'm here in Sonoma County, California to visit the Kunde Winery. We'll be talking to both the owner and the winemakers about what it takes to create a great vintage.
First off, just let you know, we have 1,850 acres here. We grow 19 different varietals. This will be our 115th harvest coming up this year. And so we've gone through 2 or 3, 4 cycles on some of these vineyards. And it's taken many years. That's the benefit of legacy, is that we've learned over the years what really works the best in a certain block.
The hardest part of this is, we handpick everything. And of course, when we have small hills compared to maybe some of the rivers, but it is a lot of work, because you got to take all these lugs down and up these hills in order to get all this stuff handpicked.
See, we have 7 different microclimates. We range from valley floor to about 1,500 feet in elevation. So there's many different variables that we've looked at over decades, and we have learned what works best, because when you plant a vineyard, you don't say, okay, well, we're going to go and now change it. You're in it for 30 years, so it's almost like a marriage.
For us as a family operation, we want people to come out here. We want to share this with everybody. But the thing that has really changed for us over the years is seeing a lot of these other operations that have been out here with us and the direction and path that they've gone down, and how we have chose to stick to our roots.
Well, first of all, I like to point out the major difference between the Napa Valley and the Sonoma Valley is the Sonoma Valley is actually open on both ends. So whereas on the Napa side, you're basically going to get this fog bank that goes up against Mount St. Helena, gets stuck there and then pulls away, which means between Calistoga and Napa, the town of Napa, you have about a 10-degree difference in a given day. Whereas here, you'll see that at the top, we actually have, this is the top of Russian River in Santa Rosa, and then all the way down to San Pablo Bay on the other end. So what ends up happening is we end up with a sandwich routine where we actually get fog banks from both sides that roll in the middle. And ultimately, that's where the Kunde's lucked out, being on the hillside in between, is because we can get Cabernet ripe. If you go 3 miles in each direction, you're really getting into Pinot country.
I'm going to give you a term of tasting here that you don't normally hear. It's a term I developed, is when you taste it, smell it, you always talk about the fruit, the bouquet and stuff, and what I get out of this glass of wine? Because of it's off the old vine, I get wisdom, all right? Yeah. You hear that? Now toast like this, so hold your glass like this and come and hit it right here and listen to the difference.
One of the things that you don't always hear is you don't necessarily hear the wine. And that's one of the reasons why we invented the cheers. You need to activate that last sense, and if you can get community and everybody involved with that, then why not?
The thing you got to remember about these vines, to live to 140 years old, they've had the perfect balance of nature. They're not irrigated, this is all dry farm, but they've been taken care of very well, and to last this long, it's a perfect balance of sun, soil, water, and to live this long, they're very hardy plants.
Yeah, so welcome to the Kunde Family Winery Caves. We're very fortunate to have 32,000 square feet of caves. And the beauty of aging barrels in caves ultimately is we have that nice consistent temperature. We only change about 3 degrees during the actual year, and our humidity stays very high because the moisture actually comes through the walls. So we usually run about 72% humidity, and it is about 58 degrees in this cave at any time. It doesn't matter if it's raining or sunny outside, the temperature is always the same in the cave. So here at Kunde, when we make a wine, you'll notice that every one has a distinct code on it. And essentially, we age every single lot of wine separately, which means for one vintage, we run with 194 independently chemistry tracked lots. And so this particular one, a Cab Sauv, of course off our estate, is a mixture of block 7 and block 13. You know, we work with about 7 different cooperages to craft our barrels, and I think that's really a key to make sure that we're showcasing that fruit with respect to the complementary oak.
Having this ability right here at this property to have elevation gain, 7 different microclimates that travel up the hillside, it gives you a great ability to have this nice spectrum and not just cover 1 or 2 styles, but cover them all.
We don't want them growing vigorously all day long, every day, the way we picture, you know, the sunny 80-degree vineyard with no breeze. And well, in reality, we want it to stop creating sugar. Because the idea of terroir, at least my belief of terroir, is we want the most amount of contact. The grape can be hanging in the vine for the most amount of time to extract all of that idea of terroir. For me personally, you know, I'm a texture person, so my interaction with a wine usually is about texture first. I want to know, where does it hit your tongue? Where does it hit your teeth? You know, is it juicy? Is it soft? Is it bold? Is it drying you out? All of those things for me are more important actually than the flavor. I want to know that, you know, it is actually pushing all my buttons.